I'm a writer, but I don't get writer's block, ever. That makes me exceptional in my field despite having little to no natural talent. And you can be exceptional too if you do this one thing. You don't have to work harder than your peers, you don't have to work more. What you need is a complete lack of ego and the willingness to do things they simply won't. Rejection therapy is a wonderful example of this. Let's say you hold yourself back in your personal or professional life because you're afraid of rejection. You can slowly build up your confidence over time and slowly step out of your comfort zone. Or you could throw your ego out the window, brace for impact, and do things with the explicit purpose of being denied. Go to your local McDonald's and ask for free ice cream. Ask a pretty stranger on a date. Wear a really ugly sweater on Christmas this year. Are you mortified just thinking about these things? Me too. But there is someone out there who'll go out and do exactly that to get over their fear of rejection. It's not hard work, it's not more work. It does, however, require some pretty strong resolve and the willingness to do something that your peers would consider beneath them. Which brings me to the next thing you should keep in mind. You can't do this unless your heart is along for the ride. You can't become the beefiest guy at the gym unless your soul burns for that goal. You can't become a leading expert in your field unless you desperately want to be one. Does that mean that by lacking passion, you're unfortunately barred from this route? Absolutely not. I talk about this book often, but Giovanni Dienstmann's Mindful Self-Discipline genuinely changed my life. See, for a book about self-discipline, it talks a lot about purpose. Do you know why? Because you can't fight an uphill battle against yourself constantly and permanently unless you have a very clear understanding of what exactly it is that you're fighting for. What I'm trying to say is that if you're not passionate about your goal to the point that you would sacrifice your pride to achieve it, it's just the wrong goal for you. Mind you, your goal doesn't have to be, I want to be a rock star, which is also an okay goal to have, by the way. My goal is to live a comfortable life that allows me some sort of creative outlet. That's it. Nothing grand, super simple. I have a friend who wants to open a charity. I have a friend whose dream is to be a dad. Every single person has something that can serve as the focal point for their life, be it for the long term or the short term. If whatever you were thinking on when you clicked on this video isn't worth fighting for or serves a greater purpose that is, then don't fight for it. Find a battle that's worth bleeding for. There are plenty of those. This one just ain't it. Let's go over my situation for an example. I want to live comfortably, right? One way for me to achieve that is by succeeding as a writer. Writer's block is a bitch and I can't write more than a few hundred words at a time. That was a few years ago. Now I can and have written a full-length novel from scratch in the span of a couple of months. What changed? Well, I decided to do something that none of my peers would. For a period of a few months, every time I would finish my shift, I would get home, sit down, and write for as long as I could afford to. I wouldn't look at my phone or allow for any distractions, even if I had nothing to write. I literally sat and stared at a blank page for 8 hours once. Can you imagine how boring that is? Spending so many hours effectively doing nothing. It sucked and I am so glad I don't have to do that anymore. You see, for me, boredom is motivating. After 2 months of this, I was able to write on command even if what I wrote wasn't actually very good. At the point where I'm at now, it is always good. This is the secret sauce to becoming exceptional. Make yourself suffer. For me, the most effective method was the threat of boredom. For you, it might be shame, loneliness, physical discomfort, or literally anything else. Capitalize on whatever makes you go nope and make it work for you. You can and you will become exceptional. That's it from me, friends. I hope you don't lose yourself chasing things that don't actually matter, and that you find a way to channel your weaknesses into something that bolsters your strength. I do take video requests, so if there's something you'd like me to cover, make sure to let me know, and please subscribe and like this video if you enjoy this so that I can make more like it. Be happy, be safe, I'll see you next Sunday.